What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this I want to give you guys a quick update on the markets and break down some very important levels and setups. Let me first mention though that I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice, and then don't forget about the Webull link. The offer ends very soon. Deposit $500 and you're guaranteed 20 free stocks. The offer ends in just 2 days. Anyways, for the market, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on some setups I'm seeing. Looking at SPY, we do have a possible falling wedge-like structure that could be developing here. However, it's not always a guarantee, so you want to be very careful when it comes to the levels that we are testing. In order for this to balance, we need to see a breakout above 545.8 by next week for this to actually play out. And if we continue to fall and we end up losing 544, then this could just be invalidated and this could just continue to fall. So I'm just going to wait and see. If I were to play this, I would set some very, very nice stops and I'd be very careful. I'm not going to say any specific levels for like entry or anything like that since I'm not really giving financial advice. I'm just calling out the setup that I personally am seeing. So would I play this? Honestly, guys, I might be done for the day, so I might not. But if I were playing, I might have given this a chance. Um, I would just wait and be very careful and manage risks very well when trying to play this. But this is something that could be playing out. I'd be watching this 544 area support. We have resistance at 545 and then 545.8. We'll have to see if we can try to hold this range and get a breakout or not. But I'm going to be very patient, at least nonetheless, for how this is continuing to move. On the QQQ, we have a very similar setup. The QQQ also happens to have a falling wedge-like structure. We have the support at 480. If we lose 480, we'll be dipping all the way down to 470, and that could invalidate this falling wedge. If we hold this support and we start breaking out and trying to bounce, we could be looking for a 2-point move up to about 482. So you have to watch to see if we break out. Haven't done that yet. This wedge is still present, so I'm going to give it some time to see if this ends up playing out or not. If it fails, watch 480 break, and then this could just be invalidated. So we'll see. That's the reason why I'd always manage risks when trying to play something like this. For Nvidia, we're just kind of shopping our bits around this 124 area. To be bullish, you want to see it break past 126. And if we reject you, we'll be dipping back down to 122.8. Overall, we're holding up very well. We have a nice double bottom like structure. And we could try to bounce, but we'll see. I'm going to be very patient nonetheless. But like I said before, we're just kind of choppy. For Bitcoin's on a bit of a dip right here. We're at critical support right now on Bitcoin. We have to try to hold 60,500. If we lose this, we're going to be looking for a big drop. If we hold this, we could try to bounce back up to 62,000. It's looking kind of weak right now, guys. So just be very careful on Bitcoin. For the QQQ, like I mentioned earlier, we had this structure. One more thing I just wanted to mention. If we were to close below 180, 480, excuse me, I'll be even more bearish. So just be careful. I forgot to mention that part. For Tesla, we're holding up very well. We pushed all the way up to about 203. So Tesla was on fire today. Then it started to dip back down with the markets. We're forming kind of like a bearish wedge. So I could see it actually dipping lower a little bit from here. But remember, even though we pumped so much, it came back down. It's not the end of the world because Tesla's only down 0.5%. That's nothing. Tesla could, easily pump so much, and I wouldn't be too worried about a little drop like that. So I would say this: we have deliveries coming up next week. That's going to be the next major catalyst for Tesla. Until then, usually even the day before deliveries might not be as crazy. We already saw Tesla pump so much approaching deliveries, so we just want to be very patient with this and see how well this ends up holding up. So be patient with Tesla for a few more. And by the way, for Tesla, we're going to likely chop between 196 and 197. 197 is our 50 EMA, and then 196 is our key support. We're going to chop around a bit, and we could dip a little bit lower, but I don't think it's going to be that bad, by the way. Looking at Aapl, it is dipping a bit, but make sure you watch the support at 212.5 and also resistance around 213. We're also still kind of stuck here. I'm seeing some weakness on Aapl developing, so it could dip a little bit lower. This could slow things down, at least for the markets, so we'll see how well we end up holding our key supports. For Supermicro, we came all the way down to about 831. We're trying to rebound a bit. We could be retesting 850. If this rejects, we'll look for a continuation lower. If we break through that, we'll be looking for 861. Overall, it's holding up very, very well in my personal opinion. For a few more, I'm going to be kind of quick with this. AMD, it's kind of shuffling right here. We have this 162 area support. If we lose this, I'll be looking for 160. Not bad whatsoever. It's starting to dip a little bit. For Coinbase has a bearish divergence, kind of dipping a little bit, kind of choppy right here around this 220 area. If we break past 222, I'll be looking for 224. And if we reject, we'll be looking for a bigger dip. I think it's kind of choppy right now. There is a risk of this dipping lower. I think we could still tag this little trend line right here before we try to bounce, but I don't really like the setup, so I wouldn't really play that personally. For Amazon, looking a little bit weak, but we have 194 as key support. We got to hold 194. If we lose this thing is going to be dipping all the way down towards 192 and eventually lower levels. If we bounce, I'll be looking at 196 as resistance. That's our 50 EMA. I've seen some weakness on Amazon. I think it's going to chop around this 194 area. It could dip a little bit lower, so just be careful with it. Meta, same thing. It could dip a little bit lower to 510. That's going to be our 200 EMA. Uh, Microsoft is kind of choppy right now. It is looking like it has a risk of dipping back down towards the 451s. So we'll have to see how that ends up holding up. And then last but not least, this is going to be the last one I go over, Google. It looks like it might push a little higher for 186 and then chop around, but that's all I'm seeing for now. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. The market closes in about 40 minutes from now, so we'll see how well things end up holding up. As you guys can see, SPY's trying to hold up right here. We'll see if we hold this or not to get a bounce for this falling wedge by either later today or by next week, or if we end up losing support and we just collapse from here. It all depends. So just be careful if you're trying to play this, manage risks, and do what you have to do. Don't go all in or do anything like that. Not financial advice. It's just what I'm saying. So we'll see how it goes. With that being said, have a great day. Have an amazing rest of your Friday. I know the market's going to close very soon, so I will be back in a couple of hours. Until then, take care, guys, and peace out.